go as planned, but it's okay. We're just gonna roll with the punches. So I want to film a half marathon Q&A today, and I was gonna do it over in one of our fitness rooms, and usually nobody is ever there, but today, when I'm filming, of course, there's people in there. I'm just gonna make some breakfast, and hopefully by the time I'm done, the room will be empty. If you're new to my channel, I just ran a half marathon. I make videos all about health and wellness and basically becoming the best version of yourself. So let's go make some breakfast. So you signed up for a half marathon, or you're thinking about it. The number one thing you're gonna need to do is find a training plan. Now these are all over the internet, but me personally, I actually went to a running store, and like everybody at this like running store is like super fit, and you can tell that they just run miles and miles and miles and miles. So I thought they probably know what they're talking about. The guy at the store told me is that I'm gonna wanna work my way up to eventually running 25 miles a week. So I can split that up between 3 or 4 days, but I wanna make sure that I actually put in the miles. I did a split of running 3 days a week. I would do a short run, so that's anywhere from like 3 to 4 miles, and then I would do a mid-distance run, which is like 6 or 7, and then I would do a long run, which is like 8 miles plus, like 8 to 13 miles, 8 to 14 miles. In the very beginning, my short run was about 2 miles, but I worked my short run up to like 5 miles. So it also depends on your fitness level and where you really want to start. Don't go too ham because you might injure yourself. And during that time, I was also cross training. So I do have a background in like weightlifting, and I also have a background in like sprinting and track. So I kind of meshed those two, and that's how I would cross train. So I would lift weights, like I would do squats, and then I would also do like plyometrics, and I wouldn't always work out my legs. I always interchanged, like I did a split of like my back, biceps, triceps, glutes, and then like my legs, calves, hamstrings, quads. Or even pulling the ropes or doing the battle ropes just to improve my cardio. You need to build your strength, and you also need to build your endurance to be able to run fast for a long period of time. So I thoroughly loved training for my half marathon because I was able to really explore my neighborhood, and then whenever I went out of town, I could explore other neighborhoods too. So what I would do is before actually running, I would look at the map and kind of see, okay, which direction do I want to go? Like, do I want to run towards Trader Joe's or more towards the mountains? Or if I was in a new area, I would kind of see like, I would kind of stay away from like the busy streets because you inhale like a lot of smog and like pollution from the cars, but still you don't want to be too secluded because you don't want to run alone. Like running safety is very important. Like I work in the news business, and we hear about runners getting attacked by dogs, getting abducted, like. So you're putting in tons of miles, and then you're cross training, maybe lifting weights, maybe doing plyometrics. You want to make sure that you have rest days. So my rest days would be the day before my long run or the day after my long run, to where I don't do anything like too strenuous. So I would do like some yoga on my yoga mat, or you want to get a foam roller, and this hurts like crazy. Like foam rolling can really hurt when your muscles and nerves are really tight, but that's when you know you need to do it the most. Also, you want to get yourself a little tennis ball, and you can use this to help roll out your sore muscles. So I think it's a really good maintenance to make sure you keep stretching. Like you maybe want to do like 30-minute stretching sessions, and it feels delicious on your body, honestly. So you put this on the ground, you step on it, and you just roll your feet over it, and it just kind of like massages out like the nerves and the muscles. You can also do this on your glutes. Training is extremely important, but recovery, I would say, is equally as important, because if your knees are busted up, you pull your hamstring, you don't take care of yourself, then you can't even run the race anyways, and you're not gonna get a good time if you're already injured, and you're not gonna feel good. Like, you signed up for this race probably because you have a goal for maybe the new year, or maybe you wanna just kickstart like your new fitness life, but you want to do it in a healthy way, and it does take time. You want to have patience with it. So I'd say one of the next really important things is to make sure you have a good pair of running shoes. These are mine. I love them. They've been with me many miles. This shoe is by Asics. I'll make sure to link everything down below. Asics Flight Foam Dynamic Duo Max. So shoes are extremely important. Look at my serious face. That's how important shoes are when you're running that many miles. Good quality running shoes aren't cheap, just like half marathons aren't cheap. So I would suggest saving for them before you actually go out and buy them so you don't have to put them on credit. I don't recommend you just grabbing these shoes because I use them. I recommend going to a running warehouse or like a running store. What they do is they have you stand on this like sensor, and they kind of see like if you're flat-footed or if you have a high arch or where your weaknesses are. Some people, like their right side is heavier or they're like imbalanced. So they put all that into consideration and then they recommend you a couple shoes. One thing he did say that I think would definitely help you guys out is buying a shoe that is a size or half a size bigger than what you usually wear. With that constant pounding, your feet can actually swell. And so you don't want this, when they do swell, you don't want them to be constricted inside of your shoes because that ain't no good for nobody. That's not good for nobody. But you want them to really have space to swell if they need to. Like, I'm a girl who just loves clean white sneakers, but no, like these are like purplish blue with like a neon, I don't even know what color that is. Orange, neon pink bottoms. And at first I was like, I don't like those shoes. They're not gonna match any of my running outfits. And I've actually grown to like these. Like, I think they're cute and girly and like feminine, and they've been with me through a lot, okay? So while we're on the topic of things you can buy, I'm just gonna keep going on this, and then we're gonna talk about my favorite topic ever, nutrition and water intake. Along with your running shoes, you're gonna want some running socks. Like, of course, these aren't like a necessity, but I do think it's important to have socks that come up above your ankles because you don't want your sock to get like stuck underneath your heel. Like, that's really annoying and it feels weird. This is by Saucony, and I like it because it's pink, but it has like some support and more cushion in the heel and towards the ball of my foot. But during my race, I layered my socks because my feet are really skinny and really thin. And so I feel like all that pounding, like there's not enough fat on the bottom of my feet to protect my bones, which is why I think I broke a bone like back in high school in my feet. Extra protection, extra cushion. If you need your phone, which you probably will because I mean, come on, it is 2020 or 2019, almost 2020. I feel like a Power Ranger. But basically you can keep your keys in here and your phone. So there's like a little slip for your house key right here. And then this thing, your phone just kind of clips into it. I got this on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box below. Also, my wrists are pretty skinny, just like my feet. Like, it's like skin, look at that. Anyways, like this actually fits on my wrist, which made me very happy. Now it's time for my favorite topic, food and water intake. Nutrition, water intake. Yeah. So people asked me how many calories did I end up eating during my training. I don't know because I don't count calories. I just really eat intuitively. In the very beginning, I was eating like a vegan diet, eating a lot of carbs. Like, I was addicted to oatmeal. And I still love me some oatmeal, but I don't eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner anymore. But when you start working out, you're gonna get even more hungry. And so you wanna make sure that you do eat extra calories. But the key is don't eat until you're freaking stuffed and you can't even walk, because that's not good. That's not healthy. You wanna eat until you're full. And then you wanna be able to pay attention to your hunger cues and realize like, oh, like, is it a craving or am I actually like hungry? A month or so into my running, I kind of realized that my hormones were imbalanced, which is something I'll talk about in another video. So I had to switch up my diet to like very anti-inflammatory and low glycemic. So kind of like paleo based. I don't want to say keto because that's like super like tons of fat, really heavy and tons of nutrients, like tons of veggies, mainly veggies. My breakfast was very similar to what you guys see today. I like to start with a lot of fat, healthy fats, and like high protein, and get a lot of veggies in. And so I would do a lot of like egg scrambles with whatever veggies I had in my fridge. I was surprised at how much I was eating, but it's okay because I love big portions. But basically like a salad bowl, like a serving bowl, I would fill that up with all these different greens, herbs like cilantro and basil, your greens like arugula, kale, spinach, like cruciferous veggie mix, and then cover it with all the different veggies, all the yummy veggies. I'd probably like poach like 2 eggs and then do like add like a can of tuna. on top. And then for my healthy fats, I would do avocado, sesame seeds. I would sprinkle in some, I would drizzle in some flaxseed oil because I really want my healthy omegas, walnuts, and almonds. Even when I was eating vegan, I never really believed in like stuffing yourself with pasta because grains have never sat well with me. But I know a lot of runners were like carb loaded. I even had people telling me like, oh, like you should go to Olive Garden and just like go ham like the night before your race. And like to me, I just felt like that would bloat me like crazy and I wouldn't feel yucky. But no, I don't know how many calories I ate and how many calories I increased. But I do know that my portion sizes were huge and I just ate when I was hungry. Almost done, but next we have water intake. I basically just carried a gallon of water around with me. I tried to drink as much water as I possibly could and I just drank when I was thirsty. The week leading up to my race though, I actually drank a gallon of water almost every single day, trying to get hydrated. So I did take supplements. I wasn't in love with them, so I don't want to share them with you guys. I'm gonna wait till I find some really good ones that I love and then I'll actually share them. But I took BCAAs, which are branch chain amino acids, which basically help with the recovery of your muscles. But you want to make sure you read the labels and make sure you're not getting anything with like sugar or like cornstarch or like any yucky ingredients. You want them to be very clean. So I'm still looking for a really clean brand of BCAAs. And then I also just took like a multivitamin. With drinking a lot of water, you want to make sure you're getting enough salt in your diet. So I just use pink Himalayan sea salt basically on breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like all my foods because I love salt. Replenish with some trace minerals or even some good old salt. But make sure it's like healthy salt, like sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, like not table salt because a lot of table salts have hidden sugars in them. I almost turned off my camera. Oh, and no, I did not take any pre-workout because pre-workout turns me into a crazy person. When I'm on pre-workout, I feel like I'm on drugs. Honestly, I have a lot of natural energy. I would run in the morning. I like to run fasted. That's when I feel the best. I don't drink coffee. I don't really drink green tea, like for the energy. The exception is when I do have like a 13-mile run or like a 10-mile run. It is good to get something in your system. A lot of gym guys take pre-workout to help them like push some freaking heavy weight. But as a runner, I feel like you don't really need it and you probably shouldn't take it because in my experience, pre-workout speeds up your heartbeat. And when you're running already speeds up your heartbeat. So you don't want to have like a heart attack. There is something that runners do use and it's like a little goo that you can drink during your race. And so if you're like miles and miles into your race or into your training, like you start feeling really low and really tired and stuff. And so it is like a shot of caffeine or it's a shot of sugar, which I know help a lot of people. Personally, I didn't take them, but it's because I'm staying away from caffeine and sugar because I'm trying to lower my cortisol. I know distance running doesn't help. But I would say try all of this out during your training. See what works for you, see what doesn't. Try to stay healthy, try to stay motivated. And then when it comes to race day, you'll actually have like the perfect recipe for success. Everybody's different. Hey guys, so my camera actually died. But if you've made it this far, then snaps for you. I really hope all this advice helped you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe because I upload every single Tuesday and Friday. I'm having so much fun doing YouTube, you guys. I'm just keeping the content coming. If you have any video requests, send them to me on Instagram at Rebecca Eloisa. All right, bye. Mwah.